Ahoy there, YouTube. I'm back again today for something completely different. I'm not going to bury the lead here. I'm going to tell you today why I think Kickstarter put their foot on the scale of a Kickstarter project, extended that project by an entire week, and then let that project get $169,000 to make 10 episodes that were 20 minutes long of essentially a YouTube board game tabletop show. So yeah, we're going a whole bunch of different places here. So today, the whole focus of this is going to be to talk about the Kickstarter for Tabletop News. This is a Kickstarter project that launched last year from 3/14/23 to 4/20/23, and it raised $169,000. The goal was to make 10 episodes, yes, I said 10, episodes of a weekly, yes, weekly, I said weekly, not daily, weekly, YouTube show that ended up being roughly 20 minutes a pop. So they raised $160,000 to make a grand total of 3 hours and 20 minutes of content. Putting that into perspective. Now, I'm going to show you something that you're going to think is pretty interesting. I'm going to show you a small little smit from when I covered the Tabletop News Kickstarter, which was, by the way, not great in my opinion. I gave it a D+. I thought there was a lot that they could have done a lot better. I'm not going to get into it. That's a whole separate video. You could watch if you want. It's 36 minutes. But you can see the end date is very clearly 4/13/23. 3/14/23 to 4/13/23. But then you say, wait, 4/13/23, right? 4/13. Oh, that says 4/20. Wait. So they got an entire extra week on Kickstarter. Is that something that can happen? Because I reached out to a lot of different publishers who put out a lot of games on Kickstarter. Collaboratively, hundreds. And they were like, what? That's like that we didn't know that was a thing. Like that you could extend it because obviously everyone would probably like an extra week of campaign time. You say, oh, that's odd. Okay, well, how do they get that? And I will say this. I have been covering Kickstarters since 2011, I wanted to say, or 12. Like, I did one of the first Kickstarter previews, I think 11 years ago, something like that. Okay, so I've been on Kickstarter for a very long time, and I do the Kickstarter critique, if you're not familiar, at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I deeply analyze a Kickstarter project for, this one was 36 minutes, covering the Kickstarter project. So I've seen a lot of Kickstarter data, and I have never once seen a Kickstarter project that got an extension. I'm sure maybe I just didn't notice, but I haven't, and I've talked to a lot of people, and they hadn't either. So when I saw that it happened back then, it immediately drew my interest. But now, Tabletop News has seemingly announced that the $169,000, well, it was just not enough to continue on after those 10 episodes. And that's partially why I'm covering the news right now, because someone has to keep covering, because that was one of their big things. They said, tabletop gaming news, board game news, it's all going to be together. And that's not, nobody's doing that now, except for the big guys. The big guys. Like Tabletop Gaming News. No, not them. Sorry. They are Tabletop News. This is Tabletop Gaming News. I'm sorry. I'm getting mixed up. They've been doing this since 2005. They're the big guy, right? They're the big guy they're talking about. I'm the big guy they're talking about. All these other RPG ones, those are the big ones. They're like, no, we don't. That's why we need $160,000 so we can do it. We don't want the big guy to go reaching out and doing this. So let's check out Tabletop Gaming News because they're the big guy. This is the big guy here. Jesus.
Welcome to the weekly Tabletop Gaming
Oh my
News
God.
Wizards of the Coast have been making headlines again this week.
Look, oh my God. So snooty. With his 3,000. I'm not throwing shade here in any way, shape, or form, by the way. I'm just trying to emphasize how ridiculous it was that's partially the reason why I gave him the D+. I was like, that's the angle you're taking, is that nobody's covering tabletop gaming news, there's not enough info out there, and you have to do it? Like, before someone else does it, right? What? And that was generally the gist of their Kickstarter. Go watch the video. It's 5 minutes. It's it's interesting. It's a minute of them talking about it, and then 4 minutes of a personal touch that feels incredibly canned and weird. But they got $160,000. But let's get back to it. So the reason I'm going to guess why they got this actually falls under this right here. Can you extend a Kickstarter campaign? A step-by-step guide. So essentially, very, 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 very rarely, they will actually extend it for you if you reach out to them. If it's in the final week, you jump through some hoops. And by the way, if you didn't know this, and you're a Kickstarter fan, or if you're on Kickstarter, if you're a publisher, that means you should probably click that subscribe button on there, right? Like, I'm going to give you some useful nuggets you might not even know about. Because I'm digging the weeds, man. I get in the weeds, or ladies, or whatever. You leave your dog here, I'll talk to your dog. But it's interesting. So this is what they did. So it's not nefarious. I want to start by saying that. Actually, we're pretty deep into this. So I didn't actually start by saying that, but you get what I'm saying. But I still think that if I were a backer of this Kickstarter, I would be like really disappointed. Because here's the other thing. They were trending to fail. So there was an outage. I also believe that during this time period, there was an outage. And I think it was like a day or a half day or something like that, if I recall correctly. Because I actually had some other people that were companies that I'm friends with or I know people with that were launching games, right? But you know how many of those people got extensions, Doomlings? So they were actually supposed to end the same day, and look at that. They did. They ended the day they were supposed to, because cool. Because they didn't get an extension. Apparently the downage didn't impact them enough. But you know, what about the smaller companies, you know? Like this guy. I don't know this. Well, not smaller, but whatever. But you see what I'm saying? Like these ones also, if you crunch the numbers here, they did not get an extension. Didn't get an extension for the Walking Dead role-playing game. Didn't get an extension for Point City and Deep Dive. By the way, both very solid games. I still like Point Salad, I think, a little bit better than Point City, but Deep Dive, rock solid. It's over there. It's my family game collection. Great. You think they would have liked to have an extra week? None of them got an extra week, though, right? But, then again, they don't have the connections that Tabletop Gaming News does. You know, like they had Matthew Lillard on and they had Becca Scott, but they didn't actually have Becca Scott because apparently there was like a, what's not the word? It's not a bait and switch, but it's a scheduling error. So like, oh, hey, because you see, the Becca Scott was the big thing. That was actually why I gave them a D+ instead of just like a D- or an F for the Kickstarter. It was like, okay, Becca Scott, that's what you're going to focus on 100%. I understand. That's what I'd focus on if I thought I had Becca Scott or I was going to schedule Becca Scott or whatever it was. So I got that. And then they also had big pledge levels so that people that they know, like I think it's Matthew Mayer, some RPG fans are actually, they're so mad at me right now. He does Critical Role play thing. I don't know. That's great. I love it. And they did a video with Matthew Lillard. Like, yeah, the Matthew Lillard. Like, actor. Awesome. Cool. And he was like promoting his whiskey and stuff like that. So they have people, you know, behind this, right? And you also got to wonder if that's partially maybe to play a role. And you say, oh, Bauer, come on. You're being silly, right? You're being silly. You know, what are you talking about? Well, how would that help? And then it's like, oh, because part of the thing that actually you can do is you can tell them, about how you have big plans. New partnerships or media coverage secured during the campaign, such as, I don't know, Matthew Lillard. Like, oh, yeah, we got Shaggy. Hey, Kickstarter, we got Shaggy. Can you give us an extra week? So that's how they got it. And it's a smart play. It's a smart play by them. But a week Kickstarter? A week? Really? And you say, okay, but they had 160, Forrest. They had $160,000. They would have gotten, then you say, oh, wait, but the goal was 100. The goal was 150. Oh, they said they needed $150,000. That's right. I forgot that they needed $150,000 to do 10 episodes. You know, very reasonable. How much does the Dice Tower ask for this year? I'm just curious. Like, aren't you curious now? I brought it up. You're like, you're being a little snoot there. You're being a little dork there for us. And you're like, well, yeah, but you want to know now. How much does Tom need? How much did he need? How much did he say he needed? Oh, how much he need? Oh man, how do you, I should know how to use Kickstarter, right? I swear to golly. Oh, he needed 270,000. Okay. So you needed, nearly 50% of what he needed. Yeah. To do 10 episodes. And he's doing what? Is he doing like 5? Is this 5? I bet Tom it was probably 6 knowing Tom. He works hard. What is it? Oh no, it's for the year. It's for a whole year. Oh wow, for a year. Holy crap. Not 10 episodes, not 7? I thought it was going to be like 7 or something. Okay. And once again, I hate to be that blunt, but we need to actually realize what they were asking, right? Before we get into it. Because I'm actually going to review. I'm going to watch the first and last episode. I'm going to go into this completely open-minded because I want to know. I want to know what it's like. I'm actually hoping to do a news channel, show myself. Maybe I just need 10% of what they need. I just need $15,000. That sounds insane to me. Okay. But, point being, none of them got extensions. Like, yeah. Shem? You think Shem wanted an extension? Yeah, he probably did. Didn't get one. You know? Because here's the thing. I don't even get into it. You get it. I don't need to beat the dead horse. My wife says, stop beating the dead horse. So, let's actually get into it, right? So, my big point is here. No, it's the numbers. It was, the numbers. So, 413, where are we sitting at? This is where it should have been over. Like, this is where it should have been over if Kickstarter doesn't put their foot on the scale. So, you make the decision yourself. I'm not going to make it for you, but let's look at the actual numbers. And so, we were supposed to end on 413. Where were they at 413? I know how to use stuff. There we go. So 413, we're sitting at 133,000. No, there we go. We're sitting at 133. So you can actually see. So that would make sense that like this was the day where like this was probably the day where it was down, right? Because it's like that's a trend. So they gained $600. And actually, do we have another one? Dang it! I closed all those other tabs. Now I could have seen if that was the day. But anyway, we'll just assume it was that, right? But then to give an extra week. No, was that their last day? But still. Like, even if that's your last day, an extra week? Like, 48 hours, I understand. Like, we're giving you an extra 48 hours. Gives you plenty of time to rally your horses. 3 days? Sure. 72? 5? Give me 5 business days? All right, 5 business days. No, we're giving you 7. You expect nobody to notice. You don't make a big deal about it. Just put your foot on the scale. You got friends. You want to work with Matthew Lillard? You want to work with the Critical Role guy? Right? We want to do that, right? That's what we want to do, Kickstarter? Okay. Jesus, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm calling out a $1 billion corporation. Wow. I just said that out loud. This is journalism. What the hell are you doing, Forrest? Holy shnikes. Look at the big boy Forrest doing journalism. Anyway, let's get back to April 15th. So this is 2 days afterwards. And we go down. So what does that mean? That means cold feet to me. Like, that's, in theory, the day where things should be going great. We got a lifeline. We're back. Get us over the finish line. Let's do this rally. No, wait. We went down? We went down yesterday? Wow, a lot of support there. Right? That, to me, looks like, someone's like, maybe I don't want to invest this 10 grand in this thing. You know, she doesn't look... I should just say she. I'm looking at Becca Scott. They don't look like they... Because here's the bottom line. It's not Becca Scott. It's a middle-aged white dude. That's the puppet master behind the strings, it looks like.
Absolutely in the right place.
Yeah.
And we've got
and I'm not saying that in another way to be descriptive. It is a middle-aged white dude, I do believe. There you go. I'm a middle-aged white dude. Let's not make anything about it. The guy from Tabletop Gaming News, I'm speculate, same thing. But once again, kudos, brother. Keep it going. Keep it going. I normally shouldn't be rooting for the big guy. I'm a big Bernie Sanders supporter. And by the way, how did you find... So let's get to the brass tacks of it. So Kickstarter put their foot on the scale. It looked like it was going to fail, but then it did cross the finish line because they gave it 7 extra days. If they give it 2 extra days, it doesn't look like it's going to succeed. But Kickstarter decided they were going to push it across the finish line, so it was going to be a thing. And now it had the opportunity to grow and to bloom. And to, what's this? This is the 2024 update from October 18th. This is the last update in 5 months. All these updates. Oh, wait, where's the... can I see some... Oh, because this the... excuse me. What's going... Oh, it's cool. Oh, wow. This is fun. This is... If you watch the channel, you know it's always a good sign when we have hidden post. That is sarcasm if you're new to the channel, by the way. If you're one of those people who's like, oh, he's an investigative journalist. And they're like, what? No, he's not. Who the hell is this guy? Oh, it's the plumbing guy. I thought he was doing more plumbing. So yeah, they're done. Hello, backers. First, we want to start with apologies. It's been too long without an official update on the status of Tabletop News. We have addressed the subject a couple times on the Discord. Oh, thanks. But that is not a platform everyone has. Yes, considering this is where they gave you $160,000 because Kickstarter decided to give you an extra week. Dramatic pause over. The main thrust of those small posts still remain true. However, currently there are no plans to continue tabletop news. We got our $160,000. We got paid. We got to hang out with Matthew Mercer. We got to shoot stuff with Andrew Lillard. Matthew Lillard. Get our drink on with Shaggy. Went to the mansion. Swam in his pool. It was super fun. Yeah, we got to do all that. And it's a super fun chapter of our life that we have closed, and maybe I'll get myself a nice job, cushy job, working for some company somewhere, in the board game hobby. If fall back, okay. It was and still is a great idea. I want all of you to know those 10 episodes were awesome. You did the work, and it was a success. As far as I'm concerned, you're an amazing group of people, cast and crew, and I'm proud of what my donation was able to help you accomplish. Huh? I never even knew you made 10 episodes. I still haven't received my digital rewards, and I guess I've been unintentionally ignoring those updates. I pledged as an adventurer, and was supposed to get behind-the-scenes digital photos from the filming of Season 1 and emailed straight to your inbox. Nope! Check my spam and clear my inbox daily. You'll also get exclusive access to our never-before-seen blooper reel and get a digital download of our Tabletop News Kickstarter poster. Nope! I don't even know where I would find this. Where was it broadcast? Superbacker! Brian K. Borgman. Always love Superbackers. Sounds like you had a real rough go, Brian. Just gonna go. You can certainly shoot us a DM with your email address so you can check what wires got crossed, as it sounds like we probably have the incorrect address. A quick look at our updates here at Kickstarter can get us on a great deal of what you missed, but if you jump over to the thing... Okay. Thanks for all you did. You paved the way and showed that there's something people will enjoy, have an interest in. Maybe one day we can see some familiar faces branching off to new places within the tabletop world. It certainly was an idea. It certainly was an idea. Mark's got it. Yeah, and so Kickstarter put their foot on the scale and let them get $160,000 to make 10 episodes and then bounce. And had Kickstarter not done that, I think it is very safe to say that you find people would not be out 160. Well, you find people wouldn't be out, I don't know, like $78,000, and then some millionaires wouldn't be out, $80,000. Speculatively, actually, let's check. Any fuzzy numbers here? Yeah, there's fuzzy numbers, but hey. That totally. Los Angeles 84. That's a fun number. You don't see that very often on Kickstarter. They're normally not in Kickstarter news too often. But let's that makes me really definitely feel like this was somebody like, oh, this was great. They gave us a week to get the hell out of here. Okay. So there's the point, I guess, is that, yeah, I feel like Kickstarter did something that was pretty crappy there, and I wanted you to know about it. But now we're actually going to watch it, and I'm going to do it completely non-biased. I have a clicker here. I got a point system that we're going to do. Whole different kind of part of the show, I guess. Also, I'm thinking about bringing back my news segment that I did a couple years back that was more like the weekend update. Very crude, very rude, but I'm excited to see how they did it and see what I can pick up from this. And hopefully we'll get some ideas. And if you see any ideas in this that you think would be good that I could use, please let me know as well. So, without further ado, we're now going to watch the first and the last episode that was created, episode 1 and episode 10. And every time I chuckle, I'm going to give it a click. Every time I laugh, I'm going to give it 2 clicks. And every time there's a gut buster, I'm giving it 3 clicks. We're going to keep track of it at the end, just so we can have an objective idea of how much funny I thought it was, because that is the goal. I do believe it's supposed to be informative and funny.
And everything from therapy.
And I have watched the first 3 minutes, though, because I don't remember that well.
Big Warhammer news over the weekend.
Hold up, that looks like...
Did we just jump in? Okay, so that is just... Okay, no intro, we're just in. Got it.
Big Warhammer news over the weekend.
Hold up, that looks like Barbie.
It'll make sense soon. We've got double Warhammer news to cover.
And exciting news regarding a certain role-playing game from the 80s.
Ooh, some Wait, that's Ninja Turtles.
Yes, like you said, it'll all...
I'm looking at toys.
Plus, I sit down with Darrington Press to chat about the upcoming Candela Obscura core rulebook and a trip to Cantrip Candles. All that and more on your official stop for all things tabletop. I'm Michelle Wynn Bradley.
And I'm Joseph Johnson.
Where's Becca Scott?
Let's roll.
I like Becca Scott. I was told there was Becca Scott.
Thank you to today's sponsor, Dark Dice, an award-winning horror actual play podcast featuring Jeff Goldbloom. Do you dare roll the dark dice? More on them later in the episode. It's Turtles All the Way Down with the re-release of the original
That's
Teenage
okay.
Mutant Ninja
Okay.
Turtles TT.
I don't know if they get a laugh for that. I'm laughing at how I feel like my prediction that this was put, like the millionaire prediction that I low-key said. The first thing I see is Jeff Goldblum, and I love Jeff Goldblum. Check out his Disney Plus show. It's fantastic. I watch it with my kids. I love you, Jeff, if you see this. But the first 45 seconds I'm seeing Jeff Goldblum, okay. I like it. Let's go.
RPG.
Teenage Mutant Ninja
I will. I'm going to give it a click for that. I don't know what that is, but that's more just me laughing at the fact that this should not have happened. This shouldn't have happened. If the market said no. The market was like, we don't want this, and millionaires pushed this over, and Kickstarter let it happen. Tell me I'm wrong, please, in the comments. Like, I'm legit serious. I want you to explain to me how I am wrong on this so I can feel better about it, because I love Kickstarter, and Kickstarter is starting to get their butt kicked by GameFound. And with crap like this, man, it's like, it's not like this. I don't even know. Let's get back into it.
Turtles and Other Strangeness is the remastered version of the 1985 sourcebook, one of the first licensed TMNT products.
This game is based on the original comic run, which has a much darker tone than the Ninja Turtles younger generations have come to love.
I've always felt more like a Splinter anyway.
Old, hairy, very scratchy, everywhere.
The team behind this re-release comes from original publisher Palladium Books, run by designer Kevin Sambita and Eric Wujik.
The joke is she's hairy. I'm just trying. I didn't laugh, but I'm just trying to understand what the joke was, because we will. Because I actually watched a clip on like some of their Twitter, and there was like a joke. I was like, I don't know what the joke is. So if you do know some of these jokes and I'm not understanding them, please fill me in with the timestamps, because I do. I want to understand them.
The Kickstarter campaign for the re-release.
If there's more, like what I'm saying is, if there's more that I'm not understanding of the joke, then it's just like I'm a hairy joke.
October 31st, and includes backer exclusives like miniatures, dice sets, prints, and more.
Michelle, can you say TMNT TTRPG 5 times fast?
You need my vocal warm-up for every episode. TMTTRPG, 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 TMTTRPG. That's fine. That was fine.
Yeah, no, that was fine. That was fine. This is fine. So the Ninja Turtles live in the sewers.
Yes. Where are you going with this?
I'm sure they wished they had their own dream house.
Yeah.
Okay, and who lives in their own dream house?
Barbie!
Woo, let's go. Yes, Barbie has been many things: astronaut, president.
Margot Robbie.
Sure. And now a new competition wants you to turn Barbie in.
That was not funny. That was factual.
To a grim dark monster.
Like, there's no joke there. There's literally no joke there. Right? There is not a joke there.
Woo, let's go. Yes.
And I'm not, it's fine. It would be fine if there was just Margot Robbie and that was it. She just threw it in there. I have no issue with that. But it's not that. It's that he laughed. Like it was a joke. And it is not a joke. It is a fact. They can't be jokes, but in this instance, I don't feel like that Venn diagram has a crossover.
Let's go. Yes. Barbie has been many things: astronaut, president.
Margot Robbie.
Sure. And now a new competition wants you to turn Barbie into a grim dark monster.
War Barbie.
Like, that tells me one of a few things. Someone told him to laugh there, or he felt like he needed to laugh there. Neither of those things are good for your comedy show, in my personal opinion. And I'm not huge in comedy. So if you are, you let me know. And I do know sometimes, like, I guess maybe it's supposed to, like, I don't know, like a laugh track. I guess that's like a laugh track. Without a laugh track, like, you need to laugh. You're essentially the laugh track. Okay, I get it. Never mind. Putting it together. I'm not from Los Angeles, Jeff. I don't know how all this works. Settle it down with your burner.
2023 is an online kit bashing competition where entrants mash together Warhammer minis and doll parts.
That's cool.
The competition is hosted by mini painter Lillard Center. Sponsoring the competition is friendly local game store Cryptic Cabin, who will give out prizes for first.
It's a nice shout out.
The Instagram hashtag WarBarbie2023 is already full of strange yet amazing creations. And participants aren't just limited to Barbie. Creative kit bashers have already crafted laser-wielding cherubs, H.R. Geiger babies, and this head on spider legs that crawled straight out of my nightmares.
No, I love him. You too can enter the competition by emailing your War Barbie creation to the email below. The deadline for the competition is October 31st, just in time for Halloween.
Can you say War Barbie Margot Robbie 5 times fast?
Of course, that's my other vocal warm-up every time we come to the studio. War Barbie Margot Robbie, War Barbie Margot Robbie, War Barbie Margot Robbie, War Barbie Margot Robbie.
Look at me. Look at me.
Wax.
What? No, they're made out of plastic.
Do you know what's made out of wax? Candles. We sent Nathan to Cantrip Candles to explore how the power of scent can help immerse you in your game.
Feel like we have the same Venn diagram again of, once again, facts, jokes, can be, not this time. Let me know if I'm missing the joke there. And I'm trying to review this. Like, I am trying to be critical. So I'm trying not to be mean here, but it's just, I want to see, I hope you understand that. Like, this is like me literally trying to review it. And I feel bad though. It's weird. Somebody do it to me so I can feel it too. I want to feel it.
Gameplay with founder and owner Christoph Vischer.
Stylish.
Surrounded by candles and tabletop accessories here at Cantrip Candles in Hollywood, California, sitting down with Christoph Vischer. Christoph, what came first? The love of games?
Dude, you'll be in the first episode. We'll do a whole segment on you. We'll shout out the social media. We'll show the store, your good prices, the candles. Let me talk. Look, let me talk to somebody, and we'll see what we can do. Like, it's just like, man, like it's like, I want to go look at their Kickstarter numbers right now. But this is not the segment. Let's go.
For the love of candles.
The love of games. I had to learn how to play D&D before I could figure out how to scent it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I've always been a board game player. Like, growing up, I was a not.
He wasn't saying a joke.
The love of games or the love of candles?
I'm going to see if there's a tone here I didn't hear, but I don't believe that gentleman said a joke.
The love of games. I had to learn how to play D&D before I could figure out how to scent it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. I've always been.
I had to learn how to play D&D before I could make the sense for it. It wasn't a joke.
A board game player. Like, growing up, I was a Monopoly person, Life, all those good vintage games. I got into more complex tabletop games like Settlers of Catan in college, and then post-college I got into the whole hefty role-playing games and tabletop proper.
It's funny, but I want you to be able to share it with us as well. The accident that sparked an entire company?
Yes, the happy accident.
Yes.
I was DMing and I had a beer on the table and I was maybe gesticulating too much and ended up knocking over the beer. And I kind of was trying to just play it off, but like it was making this big mess. And I ended up being like, well, at least we're in a tavern in the scene, so like it smells like beer. And it led to this light bulb moment where I was like, wait, that's a really good idea. Like, scent could be really helpful for adding to the immersion. I'm all about the immersion in games. Like, I'm playing music whenever we're playing tabletop. I try not to wear costumes, but I like a lot of tactile things. It was scent that I was like, wait, that's the missing piece that'll actually really help me get more into it.
Don't miss the full interview and tour of Cantrip Candles on our YouTube.
I was actually kind of ready to zone out a little bit there. So I'm kind of disappointed that wasn't, another 2 minutes of this being over, but now, clicker back. Let's go. That was it. Okay, so they give you a bite-sized chunk of it. And they say, hey, you can watch more of this other video over here. Because I also, once again, am looking at this as someone who wants to make a weekly tabletop news. It's just going to be on board games for the most part, though. Similar to Weekend Update. So far, I don't have many ideas that I'm going to take from them, but we are only 4 minutes in. Let's go.
YouTube channel.
Now, every nerd knows playing games is a serious matter.
Games have the power to change the way we see the world and give us the tools to make the world a better place. Finding the best way to use those tools is the central theme of the annual Serious Play Conference, which took place at the Toronto Metropolitan University last weekend.
Every year, the Serious Play Conference attracts game designers and researchers from a variety of fields and industries. Together, they discuss how to use board games and TTRPGs in everything from therapy and education to intercultural dialogue.
Talks included a session by Terrell Page on teaching creative writing to high school students using collaborative world building. The students drew maps, created characters, and developed settings, then created a short story set in the world their group created.
Another talk by Dr. Dmitry Babachenko showcased his team's work in cultural preservation. They developed a game to document and learn endangered culture.
Okay. I think that guy's. I love that guy's face. That's 3. Fair is fair.
Story set in the world.
It looks like his dating pro. Like, I just love his come hither eyes. This is not an insult in any way, shape, or form. I legitimately just. It looks like that man. That man gets what he wants. Wow, look at them. I want to see it. Look at that picture.
Created.
Another talk by
Woo! And I bet when he starts talking nerdy, I would love to hear him talk about whatever he's an expert at. Like, he could talk your face off. Sorry, but that's 3. That is 4 unintentional laughs so far. Kudos on you, Doctor.
Dr. Dmitry Babachenko showcased his team's work in cultural preservation. They developed a game to document and learn endangered cultural traditions.
At the conference, they focused on their playtest centered on collecting stories of the South American Quichua.
Talk by Dr. Dmitry Babachenko
All right, that was a chuckle for this guy on his phone trying to hide it.
showcased his
We
team's
see
work
you,
in
ho.
cultural preservation.
I didn't mean to call him a ho. I was gonna say homie, and I got caught in the middle. I'm not saying this guy's a ho.
They developed a game to document and learn endangered.
Boom! Gotcha. Oh, he wasn't even trying to hide it. He just has a case. Okay. Good for you. Own it.
Cultural traditions.
At the conference, they focused on their playtest centered on collecting stories of the South American.
Hey, but fair is fair. I thought he was on his phone, and I gave them a chuckle, so they get the chuckle. We're up to 5 clicks. 5 clicks in 5 minutes. So that's a chuckle a minute. That's not bad. That's not bad. I don't care if it's unintentional. It doesn't matter. The boredom does, though.
Quichua language. So the next time someone tells you it's just a game, tell them.
And I guess it's just boredom because I'm coming in this. I guess I was hoping for a little bit more humor, right? And I don't know. Like, I did find the candle thing interesting, but then it's like, I don't know. I'm not the target market.
And that rage flipping the Monopoly board is actually a critique on capitalism.
I guess I am.
And you know it.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Game of life.
Embracing
Okay. Oh, no. I missed a joke. I want to hear it.
stories of the South American Quichua language. So the next time someone tells you it's just a game, tell them that rage flipping the Monopoly board is actually a critique on capitalism.
I won, and you know it.
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
Game of life.
Embracing the message of the Serious Play Conference, 2 new board games hope to educate their players.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out the joke. I get the first one. It's a joke on capitalism and how, like, flipping the table. Capitalism sucks. Get it. But then his joke, I'm trying to figure out. Because she said, because he's like, I won and you know it. And then she's like, what game? And he's like, the game of life. I think that's.
Won, and you know it.
What? I don't know.
One what? I don't know. So what game?
Game of life.
The game. So he's screaming at someone that he won the game of life. Off camera, like it's like there's a like, and I use this joke all the time. Like, you're talking to a fictional character, like it's really funny. I like to give them names and stuff. My kids eat it up. You know, great. Norm Macdonald does it perfectly. I don't get the joke. Is it like a play on how he's winning at life itself? I imagine he is. Imagine you're gonna laugh at those jokes. That's a cushy job. Nice IMDb little thing on there. Nice, actually, foot in the door, too. Hopefully he got to meet, like, Matthew Lillard and some other people and stuff like that. Like, kudos, get rub elbows to people in Los Angeles. Go to Jeff Goldblum's house.
Embracing the message of the Serious Play Conference, 2 new board games hope to educate their players and help them succeed in-game and in real life.
First up is Campus Paths, an academic board game gamifying the college experience. Players take on the role of students balancing school, work, and social life.
Like those games behind them.
For their careers after graduation.
It's educational. It's not like grim, right? Like,
No. Yeah, it's not no real life stuff.
but does the game have a card for crushing student debt?
Yeah, that would make the game last 90 years, not 90 minutes.
Campus Pass is created by Resolve, a game design research group based at the University of New Brunswick. Resolve hopes Campus Pass can be used by counselors and academic advisors to prepare students for the road ahead. It's set to be released after Christmas 2023.
And for the medical students, the new board game Medico sets out to test your medical knowledge. Medicos comes equipped with cards where players describe and guess medical terms, along with special question cards to keep things interesting.
Medicos was developed by Namibian medical intern Rebecca Telkunjo.
Why are they talking about a medical trivia game? That doesn't seem like it's going to be of great interest to a lot of people. It's just, it's such, it's just, I don't know. Because it's just,
The game is available for purchase through Amazon. Imagine you're
like, that's such an insanely small niche. Right? Like, there were probably other games, right? That were more, like, you know, games and less, like, match the medical trivia. And it just, everything feels so, I don't know. Somebody's going to put it in words way better than I am. Because I got to be really careful how I word everything with this. Because it's like, it's a weird area. Because, like, some of it I definitely believe is just sponsorship. Like, hey, you sponsor this, we'll totally feature it. But then some of it's like, is it just that we want to spotlight BIPOC creators, but sacrificing what people will probably be interested in? Like, or you legitimately think that your audience will be interested in a medical trivia game? That is some interesting mental gymnastics.
You're in surgery, and then your doctor pulls out one of those cards.
Yeah, that would be
Get back to the joke.
special question cards to keep things interesting.
Medicos was developed by Namibian medical intern Rebecca Telkunjo. The game is available for purchase through Amazon. Imagine you're in surgery, and then your doctor pulls out one of those cards.
Yeah, that would be unprofessional. Unprofessional.
Unprofessional.
Yeah.
Imagine if you pull out the card, which has a list. So the joke is that the doctor needs the card. And then the joke is that he needs that sheet of paper to remember what the word unprofessional is. So the joke is, let me double check this, that the definition for the word unprofessional is on this sheet of paper next to him. Let's go back. Let's go back to the tape.
Yeah, that would be unprofessional.
Unprofessional.
You know what I think is unprofessional? Getting $160,000 and not having enough money to get a freaking dictionary to make this joke make sense. A thesaurus. Get out his phone. There's some, but I'm supposed to believe that there is a sheet of paper, which is, by the way, quite obviously looks blank, because once again, we only have $160,000. This is only our first episode. We don't have the money for these props. We can't afford a dictionary. Do you know how expensive printer ink is? Jesus Christ. Get off our backs.
Unprofessional.
Unprofessional.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And the worst part is the commitment to the joke. What are you pointing at?
Unprofessional.
Unprofessional.
Like, you are quite literally tapping a blank piece of paper in a condescending tone towards this African American man. Because he does not know what the word unprofessional means without the sheet of paper next to him. I would love to know what words or things. I don't want to. You know what? I should not assume that he's this unintelligent, that there are in fact other definitions on those other sheets of paper, but I would love to know what are on the 2 additional sheets of paper that are presumably written in invisible ink.
Professional. Incredible.
I also want to let you know, I did not know it was going to be this bad. I am kind of terrified that I said I was going to do 2 episodes. So if you enjoy this content, please click on the subscribe button, because I'm going to be very tired tomorrow when I walk my kids to the bus stop.
I'm watching this. I'm hiding on the table because I'm listening to the very awesome, but very terrifying horror-themed actual play podcast, Dark Dice. Each episode is short, about 30, 45 minutes, so it's easy to get into. And they added combat so it's condensed and enjoyable, but staying true to the dice rolls. What is going on up there? They want.
Oh, hey, at least that's nice. They put those up there. How many of them were? Hey, is that Chuckle? Chuckle. This is the first one. Oh, this is that one wasn't? That was legitimately the candle one? Okay. Wow. I thought I actually was giving them a little bit of credit. I honestly thought the segment was so bad probably because it was a sponsored segment, but now I feel worse about that segment. I was like, okay, sponsored segment, fine. But it's like, no, that was our segment. Oh, okay. My opinion has diminished a smidge bit. I wish I could take away a chuckle. Wish I could take back this time. This could have just been an investigative journalism, but now it's Jesus. What is this? What is this video?
And have had great guests such as Lily Pichu, Jasper William Cartwright, and Jeff Goldbloom. Their new season just launched. It's a story.
Jeffy G. I swear to God, I didn't know that. That was just a continuation of the other chuckle. I'm not giving him. That wasn't a chuckle, by the way. That was a gut bust. I gave him 3. Jeff Goldblum. I love Jeff Goldblum. He's delightful. Jeff, if you want to try and do some sort of other tabletop gaming news, hit me up, man. Like, I don't even have to be on it, but I will give you advice that could have really helped a lot. And I'm serious.
Who hear it?
Because
Kind of like that. Dark Dice just released a Kickstarter. Now you can unleash terrors on your table with their expansion, Unnatural Horrors for 5th edition. Necromancers, monsters, expanded rules for sanity, and more. Over 300 pages of content. Every terrifying monster they encounter.
they literally knew that people were not going to want to sit through it so much, they're letting you know how much longer you have to sit through it. Like, how am I supposed to feel about this segment when you literally... Or is this like, is that the point? Was there a reason that is there a reason there's a timer on the top that I just didn't forgot about? But aside from we just don't go away, it's ending soon.
Feels like it's right in the room with you. Like this monster right above me.
Hey, Joseph. What are you doing down here?
What are you doing up there?
I'm just making my lunch. I brought it from home.
Oh,
Dark dice.
Dark Dice.
Yeah. Hang in there, buddy. Here, have a donut.
I will. Dark Dice.
Okay, let's unpack that joke. First joke, once again, not a joke. What are you doing down here? He's like, I was making my lunch. Not a joke. Okay? Once again, fact, joke, Venn diagram, not crossing over, at least as far as I see. So then we get to the second joke, little low-key joke. I get it. This is microwaving a donut, just a little odd thing. I think it could have went a little weirder there. It might have done a little bit more. Because honestly, sometimes you do need to microwave a donut for just, extra 5, 10, 12 seconds. Give it a little bit. Don't get it too much. Don't get it piping hot. Don't try that thing out. My wife says put a little water on there. I don't like to do it. I'm just lazy. And then I guess the third joke would be the fact that he knows that he's down here talking about Dark Dice routinely, or that this is a thing he does a lot. Which once again, I guess that wouldn't really be a joke, right? Because yeah, he probably does. Like, he's probably practicing this segment before he does it, because that was all one cut. It looked like, I think. I'll give him the benefit of that. I don't know if it was, but once again, it doesn't feel like a joke.
Wizards of the Coast announced they will be ending their distribution deal with Penguin Random House.
Wait, does that mean no more D&D books in bookstores?
That's what many people thought when the news first broke. But WotC has since clarified that they are now changing their distribution plan in order to use the resources of their parent company, Hasbro. through Hasbro and
I want to explain that, by the way. I legitimately I had no desire to at all keep doing this if there was any way, shape, or form that I had not hit the record button. But continuing on.
WotC's other distributors, D&D books will still appear on bookshelves.
And it looks like Penguin Random House will continue to publish other licensed D&D titles like the recently released Lore and Legends and the upcoming cookbook Heroes Feast: Flavors of the Multiverse.
What does the multiverse taste like?
Everything and nothing.
So, while they might not be distributing the full books, they will be distributing other D&D books like the cookbooks.
Oh, good. Because how will I keep my +5 to cooking without all the cookbooks?
Yeah, just cook. Remember what you're doing.
Yeah, you're right.
Just memorize.
I could just do that.
They really like this play of not telling a joke, but then treating it like it's a joke. And I guess I'm waiting for it to work. I get, it's kind of like one of those comedic things where, like, if you keep doing it long enough, there will become a breaking point where eventually you can get the audience to laugh, and then you're out. Like, it's like, all that build up, and instead of it not being funny, it's like, it was a build up. It was all building towards that. I don't feel the build up yet.
Nerdy punks everywhere know zines and TTRPGs are a perfect pair. And now you can get both. Plus,
Okay, I'm gonna give that 2 for legit LOL. I just found out I've been a dumbass and saying zines this whole time. So good to know. Zines, which are like I don't know. They're hard to explain. They're weird.
Launched RPG Zine Club, a monthly zine featuring original games by emerging and expanding TTRPG designers.
Zine Club is designed to support new marginalized designers by giving them a sustainable pathway to publication.
As of now, you can choose from the adventure zines with games
Take me away,
exploring
viruses.
fictional world, or story zines with games that focus on characters, narrative, and story.
This month's adventure zine is Corrupted by
Every segment feels like a sponsored segment. That doesn't feel good.
Varasik Jackson. The October story zine
Especially, once again, say it with me, when you raise $16,000 an episode. Yes, I know. Kickstarter, Stripe, they take a piece of the pie for us. They'd be lucky if they had $14,000 an episode. You want to go 13.5, whatever. Still, you get my point. It's ridiculous. Why does everything feel like an ad? If you want to support me, I don't need 160. But I could use something to hold my camera, because right now I got a Jimmy rigged up. So hit the subscribe, Patreon, whatever you want to do if you want to help a guy out.
theme is a double feature of Spin the Bottle and Guys in Chairs, both by Super Villain.
Okay, that's all amazing, but what about the pizza?
So it?
The pizza! The pizzas you promised at the top of the segment.
Oh, yes, the pizza.
Yeah.
You can get into the +1 pizza parties with RPG Zine Club's Passport. It's members only.
Oh, well, while I find out more about this exclusive pizza party, we've got a fantasy board to check out.
The joke is that he is so unintelligent that he does not understand that the zine pizza thing is not an actual pizza party. Okay.
Well, while I find out more about this exclusive pizza party, we've got a fantasy board to check out.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gisela Blugant, and welcome to Fantasy 4. I'm bringing you the top 4 plays of the week. Now, I'm not talking about sports. I'm talking about our favorite actual play moments from this week. But first, a huge shout out to Backblaze for sponsoring this segment. Backblaze makes backing up and accessing your data astonishingly easy. Get started with a free trial of Backblaze today and start protecting your data at backblaze.com.
Have any of you seen that $160,000? Is there a reason we need to take a Backblaze ad on episode 1? We're the little guy. We don't want the big guy doing this. We're the little guy, remember? We need $150,000. We're the little guy. Wow. Let's go.
/tabletop news. And we're off. Coming in at number 4, we got a freaky Fae Day situation with the cast of The Dungeon Run, thanks to some audience interaction.
Both swap minds. So I need you to act as Everly until the end of your next turn, and I need you to act as Hono until the end of your next turn.
So basically, you got going on what?
Okay. Are we now pivoting to watch? Okay, we're watching a TikTok. Okay. Maybe it's funny. I want to see what I was just kind of flabbergasted that we just kind of pivoted. Oh, hey, here's this other channel thing. So let's get into it. Cool. See what they're showcasing. I want to laugh. Hopefully they're spotlighting something funny that I can follow. So at the bare minimum, if I don't like you, by you I mean your channel, I can go something. I found something good. Let's find.
Hello, everyone. I'm Giselle
Oh, crap.
and welcome to Fantasy 4.
Not back, please.
Interaction.
Here we go.
Both swap minds. So I need you to act as Everly until the end of your next turn, and I need you to act as Hono until the end of your next turn.
So basically, you got going on what I got going on with me. You now got.
So, once again, she laughed. So I think it's important to specify the joke is she's just imagining the funny stuff that's going to happen when they do switch minds. So, I'm not trying to say anything other than I'm just trying to make sure I understand every joke so I can look at this with a critical eye. You know.
Got going on with you.
I'm inside of this old, very smelly lady. I got this long arrow, so I'm gonna shoot it, I guess.
It's giving Zoe Deschanel.
Wow, that would be really hard. I mean, I couldn't imagine switching.
Wait. That was the joke. It's giving. So she does look like Zoe Deschanel. Okay. I see that. But where's. Okay, so she's inside of this very old, smelly lady. Okay, okay.
Very smelly lady. I got this long arrow, so I'm gonna shoot it, I guess.
It's giving Zoe Deschanel.
Wow, that would be really hard. I mean,
It's giving. I don't get the joke. Okay, hopefully I'm gonna get his. I feel like an old fogey. I also, Jesus Christ, I really needed to do a segment where I role play. I've been talking about this for years.
It's giving Zoe Deschanel.
wow, that would be really hard. I mean, I couldn't imagine switching minds with like another host and then having to like continue with the show.
What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Yep, I'm ready. Yep. Clip number 3 is straight to us.
So he imitates her, so naturally, of course, she would. Oh, so someone else imitates him. Okay, because she doesn't want to, say these. The one who's unprepared. What? Maybe this joke works better if I've known you for longer than 11 minutes. If this isn't episode 1, and so you have more established personalities. I don't know.
From the crew at World Below with designer and storyteller Matthew Dawkins.
We have Dale and M currently being fed a mushroom stew, being prepared in the same way that Link might.
This feels so lazy to me. And maybe it's not. Maybe this is super common and I just don't watch stuff like this. But yeah, I imagine it'd be easy to do a weekly show if I'm showing somebody else's show for, like... That's like... What's that? So 9 minutes to 13. So really like 3 to 4 minutes. That's a decent chunk of your show. That's like 10 to 15% are clips of other... I don't know. It's just, I'm looking at this once again because I want to do my weekly update thing, and it's like this. I don't think this is an idea that I'm going to take unless you, maybe. But I don't know.
In Breath of the Wild.
I don't know what I'm doing. I have never. Never mind.
With a ding, 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 ding.
Okay, don't miss a joke.
Currently being fed a mushroom stew, being prepared in the same way that Link might in Breath of the Wild. With a ding, 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 ding. Diddly, diddly, ding. Dubious food.
Dubious tune. Ha. Next clip.
I didn't get that joke, and I didn't get her follow-up joke. Please help. Timestamp it if you can.
Next clip. Ask the question, can a creepy doll succeed a charisma check?
I don't know what kind of porcelain dolls y'all been, playing with, but ain't nothing cute about them. Creepy as hell.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I mean, it still requires a charisma save. I'm down with that, but not for cuteness.
Oh, what is this? Because it's Puss in Boots. It's all big cute eyes.
Well, yeah, but you're not throwing a beautiful cat at it. You're throwing a creepy porcelain doll.
Now, I always say this. Porcelain dolls are cute until one comes to life in the cabin you're staying at a Big Bear.
I think there was a joke there like that. I don't even want to try and break that one. I don't know. This is I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do another episode. I'm gonna need Jesus. This is gonna be so shady. I hate doing this. Hit me with 50 likes and I'll do episode 2. I don't want to. So hit me with 40. Maybe you see this at 50. Fuck, you can't even thumb it down. Go to someone's house that you know that the thumbed up didn't fix it for me.
And chases you around the house with a butcher knife, so you have to burn down the whole cabin. I always
Okay.
Coming in for
So I only saw the wind up to that joke. So let's see the whole joke. Creepy doll, not cute. Don't need to roll a cuteness joke. It's not because they're cute. Oh, but he is cute. He's got the doll's got cute eyes. I don't want to break down this joke. I don't think it's funny.
Puss in Boots.
That's fine. That's fine.
Well, yeah,
But I just feel like if you're spotlighting specific things on your show, it should be more apparent what the humor is at least. Like if I could see the joke, be like, oh, it's just not my cup of tea joke-wise, right? Like, I see comedians all the time. Some of my wife's comedians that she writes, like, most of them I like, but there's a couple of them, like, yeah, I see why you like them. This is my cup of tea. And she's like, Norm MacDonald's the same way. She's like Dane Cook, same thing. A lot of things like that. But this just doesn't feel like episode 1 stuff, you know? This feels like... I just feel like you'd want to showcase, you more in episode 1, right? Right?
You're not throwing a beautiful cat at it. You're throwing a creepy porcelain doll.
Now, I always say this. Porcelain dolls are cute until one comes to life in the cabin you're staying at a Big Bear and chases you around the house with a butcher knife, so you have to burn down the whole cabin. I always say that. Coming in for our top clip of the week,
I get the joke.
We drop in on Realm Smith, who got a little surprise guest.
You can also let the rat Torrent
Oh, that's cool.
He can come out of the sewers. He has also been...
Oh, is that VTubing? I need to do that. I want like a weird old dude. I want to have like a weird dude doing Kickstarter critiques. That's neat. Jiminy Christmas. God. I need to get hooked up so people have talent on that sort of thing.
Tolerated. For now...
I knew it! Is he going to surprise us? Is he...
Oh, that was the Matthew Mercer guy.
My dwarven
Or Matthew something guy. He's a super big deal. Super big deal.
voice like...
If you're not into tabletop role-playing games.
No? No? Okay. Well,
I didn't get the joke.
I knew it! Is he going to surprise us? Is he...
So that one's not necessarily a joke at all. It's just the reveal of like, oh, this RPG thing. This was like the surprise. So that was a spoiler. Oh. If you know more about designs than I am, please let me know. If that is, because to me, now that I'm just saying it out loud, I was like, oh, that feels like a spoiler. Like, at least maybe warn me. I don't mind. But like, if I was like, oh, I was going to watch that, that feels like an important, I don't know. If you know, let me know. But that kind of feels like a jerk move. I wish I could unclick one of these. I wish I could suck back a chuckle for that if that's in fact a spoiler, because that's not cool. Like, what the hell are you thinking if that's a spoiler? Come on. I'm supposed to be freaking laughing.
hiding somewhere. I've been really practicing my...
Okay, here we go. Back to the joke.
I knew it! Is he he gonna surprise us? Is he hiding somewhere? I've been really practicing my dwarven voice, like.
Oh, so they're hoping that he's actually in the studio.
No. No. Okay. Well,
So once again, probably fact,
those are
right?
your Fantasy 4 plays for the week. Want to see
Fact
our
joke.
favorite AP clips on the show? Send them to our website, Discord, or tag us on social media.
Our next story is a blast from the past. The original fantasy Warhammer will be returning in early 2024 as Warhammer: The Old Worlds.
I thought they came out with the new edition with the Space Marines.
That is actually Warhammer 40k, a sci-fi setting. This is a fantasy setting where Warhammer began.
Hey, I need you to say this line so you can look stupid and I can look smart. I feel like I really need another clicker for how often we're seeing that joke. I would love to talk to that guy. Is that a chuckle? I get a chuckle. I get a chuckle for how much I would love to interview that guy. Jeff, please make it happen, baby. Please make it happen. You want to know how that conversation looks like, Jeff? You look like the kind of guy who likes to light a firecracker then walk away. And let me tell you, I'm a damn firecracker, Jeff.
Originally announced in 2019, Games Workshop released more details on the setting's return
That's cool.
during their Warhammer Day.
That looks really nice.
celebration
Wow,
on
that's nice.
2014.
Jimmy Christmas,
The old world
eye
featuring
candy.
New rules and miniatures for 9 core factions, including the Empire of Man and the Wood Elf Realms. The chivalrous kingdom of Britonia took the spotlight last Saturday with a full preview of their forces.
Continuing this trip down memory lane, Games Workshop will also be reprinting the original rulebook for Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Originally, this reprint was only available at the Warhammer World events.
Wargamers who want to own this piece of history, Beaky Space Marines and all, can place their orders on print-on-demand basis until October 23rd.
When
Is that making fun of your target market? Was that the joke? I want to make sure I understood it before I talk about it.
down memory lane, Games Workshop will also be reprinting the original rulebook for Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Originally, this reprint was only available at the Warhammer World events.
Wargamers who want to own this piece of history, Beaky Space Marines and all, can place their orders on print-on-demand basis.
No, it wasn't a joke at them expense. That's why I wanted to make sure I understood. It's the joke was Beaky Space Marines and all. Oh, okay, because there is a Beaky Space Marine on the front. So once again, I guess this one would be more like observational humor of like, hey, look how funny that character looks in the front. Okay, at least I see a joke there. Like I can see, okay, that's the joke.
Until October 23rd.
When does War Barbie Margot Robbie Beastman Brighthearts come out?
Yep,
And once again, this is $16,000 to make this episode. So yeah, I'm gonna really analyze the script, the props, the jokes. Because 16,000 wasn't enough. They had to take all the sponsored segments. So this was like maybe that was part of the that could have been part of the Kickstarter. Could have been part of the Kickstarter. Totally probably was.
Oh.
Still, man, Kickstarter. Why? Why did they get a week? A week? 72 hours. 48. Get it. A week? You let this happen. You didn't let this happen, Kickstarter. You made this happen. You could have said no. Sure, a lot of people, retrospectively, would probably have liked it if you had.
Let you just leave that one to yourself.
All my
Next time,
jokes
just
are
lock
funny.
it up.
They're all
and just
good.
keep it to yourself and
Every
just
take I do
hold
is
it
perfect.
in, lock it. Just
No nuts.
never
Oh, let me get that joke there.
Come out.
basis.
Oh, I'm excited. I do love Margot Robbie, so I'm excited to see what this Margot Robbie throwback is. I love throwback jokes. One of my faves.
When does War Barbie Margot Robbie Beastman Brighthearts come out?
Yep, I'm gonna let you just leave that one to yourself.
All my
Next time,
jokes
just
are
lock
funny.
it up
They're all
and just keep
good.
it to yourself and just
So that is him saying, your joke is not funny. Once again, that's a fact, and it's not funny. Venn diagram.
Hammer 40k Rogue Trader. Originally, this reprint was only available.
Space Marines and all can place their orders.
I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss a joke somewhere in there.
October 23rd.
When does War Barbie Margot Robbie Beastman Brighthearts come out?
Okay. When does this funny thing that would be a funny mashup come out? Look at my smile. Look, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Smile and everything. Not making eye contact. Avoiding the smile.
Yep, I'm all.
I'm intentionally avoiding the smile. It's part of the joke. I'm going to ignore your joke because your joke is trash.
Let you just leave that one to yourself.
Once again, fact, not joke.
All my jokes
Just
are
lock
funny.
it up
They're all
and just
good.
keep it to yourself and just
Every take I do
hold
is
it in,
perfect.
lock it. Just
No nuts.
never.
Moving from war games to card games.
One thing I always say to my children, and I say it on my Kickstarter critique, I say it all the time, is whenever you see something make the final cut, and you're like, how did that make the final cut? Like that just doesn't feel like that should have made the final cut. There's always someone who is at the head of that spirit making that decision. And the decision to include that particular joke that was not funny, and him, in fact, telling you that it was not funny and he was going to continue on, feels like a blooper that you would not want to include. Or it was a planned joke to have him say that you, a woman, person of color, is not funny. It's one of those two things, and both of them are an interesting choice. I go back to the Kickstarter comment where it was like Mike was like, that was an idea. That was a chuckle. Chuckle for Mike. Mike got you one. Okay. I'm not doing episode 2. I'm out of water. But we are going to finish this one. We're going to soldier on.
We have 3 exciting stories for our little TCG roundup.
Up first, better check your Pokemon collection. Over 1,000 counterfeit cards were seized by police in Anaka City, Japan.
The owner of this collection had previously sold 4 counterfeit cards in 2022 for over $1,000. Police arrested the man on October 4th and found cards in both English and Japanese in his collection. It's catch 'em all, not counterfeit 'em all.
But maybe it'll be harder to make counterfeits in a galaxy far, far away.
That's a really interesting camera trick there. It's an interesting camera move. Like, I like it. I don't think I have the camera. I actually have an iPad Pro. I probably could. There's probably some setting. It's just an interesting piece of camera work. I like it.
Catch 'em all, not counterfeit 'em all.
But maybe it'll be harder to make.
I don't know why it's there. The joke doesn't. It's not like. See, this is the kind of thing I would have it on the news segment, right? This would be like a 40-second thing where it's like, oh, this thing happened. You'd be like, oh, it's mildly interesting. And then I would end it with a inappropriate, wow, I don't know what the joke would be, but I'd figure out the joke. It'd be a quick punch-off joke. And this one, it's still interesting news, but I'm excited. I'm interested to see where they go with it, right? Because it's like we still have, oh, this is just the TCG roundup. Okay. So we're going to talk about more TCGs. I thought this whole segment was going to be about this news story. And I was like, oh, we're really going to dig into this one. But no, we're going to go to something else. Okay.
Make counterfeits in a galaxy far, far away. Fantasy Flight Games has announced a new Star Wars trading card game called Star Wars Unlimited.
I like that. That was a cool play on words there. I do like that. I thought it was a good line, but maybe it'll be harder to do that. Yeah, that was good. In a galaxy far, far away. I like that line.
The game will launch on March 8th, 2024 with over 200 cards in the first set. Fantasy Flight Games boast an...
Yeah, I think that was a big deal at Game, if I recall correctly. One of them, there's so many dang Star Wars games.
Unlimited number of deck styles, unquote, with organized tournaments planned for both casual and competitive play.
While a new TCG competitor enters the ring, a titan of trading cards makes a bold change. Magic the Gathering will soon be discontinuing their draft boosters and set boosters. These packs will be replaced with a new product called Play Boosters.
Play boosters will come with 14 cards and will be more balanced by color, unlike set boosters. Head designer Mark Rosewater cited marketplace confusion and inventory problems as a reason for the change.
Play boosters will be put into circulation with the release of the MTG expansion, Murders at Karloff Manor, currently slated to release in early 2024.
And now for some big Candela Obscura news.
What?
Darrington Press has announced the release date for the official Candela Obscura core.
I do like how they do the news, though. Like, if we're just looking this purely as that as like an informative news segment, like not looking at the jokes, I like that. Like, that more of that seems like a definite good thing. Like, those all feel like very interesting stories that people in the trading card game universe would like to know and they'd be interested about. And I could see that being like a segment that absolutely you bite up into a little bite-sized piece, you post it on Instagram, your TikTok, your Facebook, your YouTube Shorts, you can put on your MySpace, Jeff, like wherever you want to put it, you can put it there. And yeah, I see what they're doing there. That's a great idea. That's like, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's like an idea where it's like, oh, that's an idea I should steal. If I ever really like lean into news, like breaking them up into those bite-sized pieces for specific interests. I like that. It's a good idea.
Core Rulebook. We had Xander sit down with lead game designer and writers Spencer Stark and Rowan Hall for a little segment we like to call Meet Your Maker.
Glad we both pointed. Talk to a game designer.
Maker
Cool.
is sponsored by Noble Knight Games. They are the site to find the world's largest selection of games, including new releases, out-of-print, rare, and collectible items. Use promo code TTN.
Give you a chuckle.
For 10% off your next purchase at nobleknight.com. This week, you announced that the Candela Obscura Core Rulebook will be coming out on November 14th. What is this, Alfred?
I will say, full disclosure, the one time I laughed at a clip on their Twitter was from Xanderific, so my expectations, they're up. Don't disappoint me, Xander.
GM that maybe wasn't in the Quick Start guide.
An entire jam section.
Oh, wow.
Our big thing here was also integrating the mechanics into the world so that they don't feel separate. Just inherently, people get this idea that there is mechanics as the Quick Start guide and then this adventure.
All right, so it feels like this is a very similar format to the candle video up above, where we're on the set. Either what looks like they're on their set. It looks like that's the $16,000 set. I'm gonna guess or something. Sorry, $160,000. My mistake. Or they had them, yeah. And I'm gonna guess they dressed up and they came there like that. I'm guessing, but it's still the same basic layout of like, oh, we're on location somewhere. We're clearly not in the set, and we're talking back and forth. And it feels once again like a sponsored ad. Like it's not, but it feels like it a little bit. Which is like I think part of the biggest thing. That's just so like everything feels like an ad.
And ideally,
And I don't know how you make it not. I guess. Right? Because this one's not a sponsored ad. It's just like, oh, we're talking about this thing we think might be interested in.
Candela Obscura, there isn't quite as much of a separation.
There's lots of guidance for jams, but also there are like...
I think it's that. I think the fact that these feel like them talking 95% of the time and them just shaking their head. But once again, that's not like an issue, right? Like that's exactly how I interview people at Gen Con most of the time. Unless they intentionally screw up and like don't mention a player count or something like that, and I just want to help them out by filling the gap there, you're mostly just supposed to shake your head. But it doesn't. I guess I don't know how you'd. I don't know. Something just feels off about these segments, and they just feel like ads instead of interviews. If that makes sense, I don't know. Let me know if you get that vibe. If you have a larger vocab than me. If you don't need sheets of paper like me and the other guy, specifically with definitions of things, please help me out in the comments.
Hooks for how to run your sessions. There's examples of how we made sessions.
Right.
So that you can just look at it. I mean, really, they're like kind of 4-page spreads that are just like, hey, here's an adventure. You can just read it for mechanics and you get some of the lore and stuff, but if you pay attention to what...
Why do we need to go back and see him shake his head? It's so... weird. We did it the last time too, but at least then he was saying something. It was like, and then go back. It's like these cuts back and forth. I know it's just it's a choice, and I don't. It's like it's choice, and it's I don't know. It just seems like a choice.
What's going on in the margins?
Aha.
There is a whole other story.
There is.
I think it's just because he seems so They both. That's it. They both seem incredibly insincere and disingenuous with the amount of excitement and enthusiasm they are. Once again, it goes back to the laughing when he wasn't telling you a joke. That he legitimately needed to learn how to play the game before he could make the sense for the freaking game. Like, and you're in such like, mode that you just automatically laugh. I think that's what it is. But that's not funny to everybody else. That's not a joke. That's just you feeling the need. I don't even know.
That I cannot wait for people to decode because it's a mystery book.
That is cool, though. So I will say that actually is legit cool. Like, I would respond to that if someone said that to me. Okay, so that one I will strike for the record. Because he was saying something cool, like there's a whole language in here. And it's like, oh, that's a super neat thing. So that one, strike for the record. That's not a check off Xander. It's off the other guy. Xander's still good in my books. A little too much the overreaction, but hey, I'm still on Xander. I still got Xander stock, baby.
Of the Candela Obscura show, with two different GMs behind the screen, who's more menacing in this, Mercer or yourself?
Matt and I talked about how our seasons were going to be different. Matt had the Herculean task of...
Good question. Throw it off. Big name drop. Say, hey, this guy's always rubbing elbows with Matthew Mercer. Holy crap, I want to hear him talk. It's good. It's good stuff.
launching the series.
Right.
I had the, frankly, terrifying task of following Matthew Mercer.
You know, someone's got to do it.
And I was really lucky that when I came in, they were like, just run it the way you run it. And we knew we wanted season 2 to just like get a.
Have you ever been that nervous before DMing before? And that's just the first question that pops into my head. Like, I feel like there was a good, maybe he didn't want to ask a question, but it's just like that's cool. Like that, I legit, like I get the basic premise that this is the best dungeon master in the world. And yeah, maybe it's like a LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, if you are blind conversation kind of thing. I'll throw in the Wilton, some of the old folks. But you get what I'm saying. Like one of those conversations where it's wiggly and like, oh, this guy could, but he's one of the best of all time and you had to go up after him. I get that basic premise. That seems like something that I would really like to know more about. That's like a cool concept. So it's like, instead, I don't know, like just the response of.
So you've done 2 seasons of the Candela Obscura.
Where is it?
We don't want it to feel.
2 seasons so far. Can you give our audience any teasers for this ending?
If I give one and show you that it's valid, launching.
Dang it. I can pull up. There it is. Because once again, I'm trying to analyze jokes here, right? If there is a joke there. Oh, God, no!
You can get some of the lore and stuff, but if you pay attention to what's going on in the.
I just want to see Xander talk. I mean, it's not against them. I just like Xander. I want to believe that Xander said something funny, and I just didn't get it. Oh, okay, Xander. I'm not giving you the benefit of the doubt because I don't want to have to keep extending this. And I'm an old fogey who doesn't know how to use technology well.
Just look at it. I mean, really, they're like kind of 4-page spreads that are just like, hey, here's an adventure. You can just read it for mechanics and get some of the lore and stuff, but if you pay attention to what's going on in the margins, there is a whole other story.
There is an entire secret language in this book that I cannot wait for people to
See,
decode.
so that's what it was, and that's why I got confused. His reaction wasn't to what that guy said. That guy buried the lead, and then she filled in the lead, and then he was like, oh, that's legitimately cool. That's what happened right there, I do believe. So that's why Xander's reaction actually does seem like a legitimate reaction, because that's actually super freaking cool. Point for Xander, baby. Except, but he loses the point for the fake, but he's got, I don't know, it's weird.
Because it's a mystery book.
So you've done 2 seasons
Here
of
we
the
go.
Candela Obscura show with 2 different GMs behind the screen. Who's more menacing in this, Mercer or yourself?
Matt and I talked about how our seasons were going to be different. Matt had the Herculean task of launching the series.
Right.
I had the, frankly, terrifying task of following Matthew Mercer.
You know, someone's got to do it.
And I was really lucky that when I.
Yeah, I guess that's my thing. Like that just feels like an awesome spot to like ask him a direct, open-ended question potentially. I know this feels like color contradictory, but trust me, you can do it. Especially if you're like seeing that, like I don't know. It's just I've interviewed a lot of people, and I don't claim to be good or great at it, but I've done it hundreds of times, quite literally. And it's just sometimes I feel like that would have been a great opportunity to just hand him a softball, right?
I came in, they were like, just run it the way you run it. We knew we wanted season 2 to just like get a little darker, to show people the different ways in which the game could be run. And
I'm too nitpicky there. Shut up.
We all said this is what we want to do. We don't.
It's
want
too in the
it
weeds.
To feel safe. Right. We want there to be. We want it to feel like.
It's just that I do like this segment idea of like having the like, because I get it. Like, oh, we got this set. We'll bring people here, or we can come to them, and it'll just look great. And it does. It does look great. There is no doubt about that. Set design people at Tabletop News get no shade. Actually, they do. Someone should have said, hey, maybe we shouldn't use all this freaking money for our department. So you get some shade.
Are not as in control.
We've had 2 seasons so far. Can you give our audience any teasers for this ending?
If I give one word, so no spoilers, but one word.
Okay.
This final episode, I would say, is about sacrifice.
Oh no!
It is about thinking about looking out for the people around us and ensuring that the people that we love are protected.
So I was behind the curtain during all of that, and there is a moment when everyone behind the curtain collectively gasped. I just remembered looking over at Max, our producer, like with my eyes wide, and he just went.
It's a wild episode.
She did not tell a joke.
Collectively gasped. I just remembered looking over at Max, our producer, like with my eyes wide, and he just went.
It's a wild episode.
Marking my calendar for November 14th to get my hands.
Okay. On the news, when it's live, when they cut away to a segment like this, in theory, the anchors are watching this segment, right? However, this is not the live news. This is not a live segment. This is clearly not a live segment. So you acting like you're so excited about the clip that you just watched doesn't make sense because you didn't just watch the clip. It's just you faking, maybe not faking, but you're faking a little bit that you're watching the clip right now. I don't assume you watched the clip. I don't even. It's just you get what I'm saying, right? Like the joke is there. It's the joke is that the joke is we're excited about it, right? But it's just it bugs me. It's like no, like you weren't watching it. Don't act like you were just watching it. Don't act like that piece of paper has writing on it. Like because it's like I'm not 5.
It's a wild episode.
I'm just getting cranky.
November 14th to get my hands on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
so it's like literally like they were with bated breath to find out more from this clip that remember they were watching it too. So it's not a joke. It's just them lying and pretending. I want to make sure I didn't miss the joke. We're up to 14, so we have now fallen below 1 chuckle a minute.
On November 14th to get my hands on that core
14.
book. Keep your eyes peeled on our YouTube channel to watch the full interview with Spencer and Rowan.
And now it's time for news from your table. Our first news from your table comes from Gals and Goblins. They report the party had to stay the night at a fishing village and were given 2 options. Stay at a quaint cottage at the edge of the village or Old Fish Boy's shack. Obviously, they chose the quaint cottage.
A reasonable choice, because something seems fishy about that shack. It's not just the smell.
Just as they were going to claim their lodging for the night.
What the freak is going on? It's late, and maybe I missed where they explained what is happening in this segment.
And now it's time for news from your table.
Okay. News from your table. I thought it was going to be about tabletop board games. It's not. Instead, it is...
Our first news from your table comes from Gals and Goblins. They report the party had to stay the night at a fishing village and were given 2 options. Stay at a quaint cottage at the edge of the village or...
Someone called the Gals and Goblins crew sent them an email? Is that what that was? Telling us a story about their role-playing game, I think. News from your table. Aha. I have cleverly inferred what this segment is about. If only you had taken the 6 seconds to explain it a bit more before, I would have been better prepared. The only reason I stopped it was not because I cared, but because I'm shooting a YouTube video and I want to look professional. Sometimes.
Old Fish Boy's shack. Obviously, they chose the quaint cottage.
A reasonable choice, because something seems fishy about that shack. It's not just the smell.
Just as they were going to claim their lodging for the night, they found themselves in a bit of a conflict.
Something is fishy about that shack, and it's not just the smell. There is something suspicious about that shack. That is not a joke, I don't think, unless it's supposed to be. I guess it is. It is. It's a pun. It's a play on words. Fishy. It seems fishy. Smells fishy. There is the joke. Okay. Never mind. There's totally a joke there.
Luckily, the village had a foolproof way to solve disputes in their culture. A fish race.
Oh, I know.
A fish race, that's right! Each party member chose a giant fish, saddled up, and got ready to race. Even their hydrophobic, 3-foot-tall tabaxi named Beans had to partake. Once the race started, the shenanigans began. Each student tried to stay on their scaly mounts and dodge the sabotaging spells being thrown their way. It was dicey for the party members.
Said 50. I'll do episode 2. You get it to 60. I'm reaching out to him for an interview. I don't even know how to make interviews work on YouTube, which is why I don't do it. But I want that interview. I kind of want to get to 60 now. 60 likes. But man, then I have to learn how to do something. Damn it.
Right up until the end, but they prevailed. Beans was the real winner, overcoming his fear, and he did a victory lap around the bay, wiggling his butt at all the losers. Beans! 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 Beans!
And that's Bean, the new.
We didn't have any ink for the paper because we all used it on the I Love Beans joke, which could have and was just made with a marker, I do believe.
He did a victory lap around the bay, wiggling his butt.
I'll go back. I want to see because I'm just so curious. I'm so in the weeds now. I'm lost. I'm in here. We're in here 19 minutes. Damn it! I want to know if they actually took the time to print that off.
Wiggling his butt at all the losers. Beans! 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 Beans!
Yeah. Wait, or is that printed too? Who's that guy? Do we know him? Yeah, so that one's written. Yeah. Oh, was that on the paper? Was on the other pieces of paper? Oh, maybe I just didn't see. Maybe they looked blank because I was looking at the other side and it just said I love beans. They're like, oh, we could just use that piece of paper twice. They're like, should we write something on it to make it look more real? No, because then they might see through the I love beans sign and that would look unprofessional. I bet that's the decision they came to. So it was like, well, we got to sacrifice one of them. We can only print off the paper for one of these. Like, Jesus Christ, you got $160,000. What the hell are you doing? Like, I expected so much more than this. I expected to not, I'll be honest with you, I expected to not laugh. I was hoping I would, but I was expecting to not laugh based off the Twitter clips. And I was expecting, like, just slick. And it's slick, but there's also things that are just like, hey, that's not slick. That's so weird.
And that's Bean.
Like, that was a choice to print that off. Instead of a marker. Which you have. Because was someone too lazy? Did someone think, I can't, like... Because, and here's the bigger issue here. Here's the bigger issue here. And you're like, why are you hammering home runs? This is such a stupid point. They took $160,000. They made 10 episodes. Kickstarter not only gave them the platform to do this, when they reached out to presumably Kickstarter, because you don't ever possibly want to believe that Kickstarter reached out to them and not anyone else, because I know for a fact that Kickstarter did not reach out to everyone else that was running both successful and unsuccessful Kickstarter projects at that time. Kickstarter. And they took that money and they made 10 episodes, and then they didn't tell you that they didn't post for like 5 months. It's just like, Jesus, like this is why Kickstarters get a bad reputation, because there's actual little guys and little gals and little everyone's who do want to launch their Kickstarters and do want to make content like this. Like the freaking guy who's been doing it for 15 years at 3,000 subscribers. What do you think he'd do with $160,000? What do you think he'd do with $16,000, man? It pisses me off. I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't. This is bullshit. And it's just, the more I think about it, the more it's just like, Kickstarter, like, why would you do that? Why would you take that risk? Like, you saw what they were. You saw where they were headed in theory. Because once again, you can't do it until the last week. And in the last week, where were they? 4/13, let's go. 4/13 last real day. 4/6. sitting at $100,000 with a week left to go. You are 2/3 of your goal. That's what you are. Why do we need to put our foot on the scale for a week? Dude.
The news from your
And dudettes.
table. We do this every week, so send us the news from your games using hashtag news from your table.
Hey, here's what's been going on for the last minute. Yeah, minute. Thanks for telling me after the fact. Were you worried I was going to leave if you told me what the segment was at the beginning? Because I would have. You were right. You got me. You're not getting a chuckle out of it.
Table on the app formerly known as
Is that why you also showed me the countdown timer for the one sponsored segment? No, there's two, because there's also the Bit Blaze. Is this the worst piece of board game content ever? No, I'm sure I've made some crap way worse than this. Is this the worst piece of board game content ever made for less than $16,000? Wait. More than $8,000. How about we go that? I feel like that's a safe number, and I think that I would say, yeah, I can't imagine there's a worse piece of board game content out there that costs more than $8,000. No, there's probably some really bad Kickstarter videos. Never mind. That's not fair. I'm sure there's some god-awful Kickstarter videos that they spent tons of money on. They just didn't know how to point their gun. I don't put that on the illustrators and the animators and everybody else. That's just people thinking they know how Kickstarters should be and then sometimes getting humble pie. And that's not saying I know how it's to be. It's because I've studied over 1,000 Kickstarters to see what works.
We do this every week, so send us the news from your games using hashtag news from your table on the app formerly known as Twitter.
I do like the music.
Featured on our show.
Very catchy.
For the news this week, thanks again to our friends at Dark Dice for sponsoring today's episode.
Dark Dice is available for free, however you listen to podcasts or at darkdice.com. So, ask yourself, do you seek him?
Thanks for watching Tabletop.
Oh, missed the last joke. As bad as it is, R. Kelly's running from my mind. It's like, I made it. I'm the world's greatest. There's no way I can do 2 episodes straight. I gotta go to the bathroom with this. But let's see. There's one more last joke. I don't want to miss it.
Do you seek him?
Thanks for watching Tabletop News.
Oh, it's a reference to Dark Dice.
However you listen to podcasts or at darkdice.com. So, ask yourself, do you seek him?
Thanks for watching.
Who is him? Why is that funny? I don't know. I have to go to the bathroom. I legitimately don't think it's a joke.
Tabletop News, your official stop for all things tabletop.
And thank you to everyone who supported our show. This is episode 1. We can't believe we're here.
Wow.
Kickstarter and our backers supported us, our sponsors supported us, our friends.
Kickstarter supported us. Most importantly, though, we could not have done it without the additional week they gave us. God bless. Thank you so much. I'm sure you hope this never comes out that you gave us an extra week, because we just took the money and we put out 10 episodes like this. Thank you so much, Kickstarter. Oh my gosh, there would have been so much eggs in our face with so many people in Los Angeles if this possibly would not have gotten us that extra week. So thank you so much for whoever pulled these strings. That's my prediction on the next 36 seconds.
Talked about us on social. Everyone just gave so much to this
I was just trying to predict.
show, and we are very grateful. So thank you.
Catch new episodes of Tabletop News Thursdays on YouTube. And don't forget to ring that bell, like, and subscribe.
Let us know in the comments which story was your favorite this week.
Dude, she made him do all the freaking dirty work in this. I think if we actually went back in this and analyzed it once again.
And let us know what you want to see on the show. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Joseph. See you next week. Bam.
And I don't want to knock her, by the way. I'm not. Because, once again, and first and foremost, you can't say I'm punching down. I've never made $160,000 on a Kickstarter. But, I'm not knocking her. Because I want you to, before we get out of this, I want you to put her in her perspective. See if there's anything funny here. Wouldn't that be a surprise? I'm going to laugh if I see Jeff Goldbloom one more time. Okay, so 120,000 views. Good for them. I did not like it, so I will respectfully give it a thumbs down. 14 laughs in 20 minutes, roughly 21 minutes. I didn't think it was very funny. I can't imagine many people did, once again, because it didn't seem like they were telling a lot of jokes. And it was... wow, I don't even know what to say. I can see why they're done. I'm excited if you guys want me to watch other episodes. But yeah, I think this is a really crappy situation, and I would love to hear Kickstarter's reasoning on why they extended this. So if you would love to hear Kickstarter respond to this, and maybe let everyone else know about what some of these situations are that they could potentially get this help for if the site goes down again, and maybe making that a little bit more easy to find, like, piece of information. Because in fact, I actually found quite a few like people who are like experts on the subject be like, no, you can't do this. So it's definitely not common knowledge. But I guess if you got the right connections, you can make it happen, right? You can make anything happen if you got the right connections. But that's why you should all work on getting those connections. So that was Tabletop News. Jesus, I don't know what you call that segment. It's 1:44. I got to go to bed. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to click on that like and subscribe button, and have a good day. So I had to go to the bathroom so bad that I lost my train of thought. But I want to clarify why I wouldn't, why I don't put it on her so much, because I want you to really put her in to that perspective of, I legitimately believe that, yeah, she probably 100% believed that she was going to have Becca Scott on there. And Becca Scott was clearly not there, which then means that you have got to have, some sort of just really heavy duty anchor, essentially. I get what she was doing. Like, he's like, all right, we don't have this, so we gotta essentially create a Becca Scott. So you're gonna need to just turn your personality up to 14, right? You're gonna have to just go the extra mile. And I think that's what that was. Because I know there's probably going to be some negative comments. It's like, oh my gosh, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. And I even made a couple of those in there. But the more I think about it, the more it's like, wait, where was Becca Scott? Oh yeah, there she is. You essentially have to replace Becca Scott, right? And that's hard. I think instead of focusing on one personality that I don't think most people are going to find the jokes that they tell humorous based on this 20-minute segment, granted, and the clips that I saw. Whereas you have a very diverse cast here that we didn't see that presumably are funnier than you. And I'm not trying to be insulting, but you didn't seem, maybe it's the jokes that were there to use, but it's like, I gotta imagine you probably wrote some of the jokes, right? It's just, I don't know. I feel like the decision that the cart horse there, like, I'm excited to, you know what? I honestly, if we get to the 60 likes, I'm kind of excited to see if there's a different host next week, because I'd love to see Xander take a crack at it. I would. Like we saw her, I have a hard time judging, because once again, what she was given was like, hey, the joke is that I burn down shacks routinely, and it's hard to judge, right? Like, with the content you got. Where's Xander? Oh. Hey. Uh-oh. That seems unusual. Huh? We got you twice. We need you twice, but we can't get a little Xander here? Maybe Xander's the one I need to be reaching out to, but where's Xander? What are we going on? Xander? Oh, there he is. It's just not the front page. What's up with that, Xander? Tell them to go get rid of their asses off the front. Put you on there. That's disrespect. I mean, now they're done, but it's still disrespectful, right? Like, what the hell? How many people are there? Why are they on there twice? Is there, because if there's, oh my gosh. Like, sorry. I'm just so in the weeds now on this. I can't get over it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so you do have 12. That's going to make it a problem, right? Because there's only 9 squares in there. Well, let me see. Let me see if I can do this. Just, I don't even know why I'm doing this now at this point. But it's just, that bugs me, right? Like, if you're Xander, like, why would... All right. Maybe I got too much love for Xander, apparently. But yeah, I wanted to clarify that, because I actually ended this, and then I totally lost my train of thought because I had to go to the bathroom so bad. But I understand why. I understand why you would feel the need to crank the personality up to 11. I want to make sure everyone thinks to that point, because you might not have. But if Becca Scott was your tent pole. You have to find a new tent pole. And instead of going like the Office route of just saying like we're all gonna help carry the weight of the jokes, it looked like they were like, we're gonna go just focus on the one main. We're gonna try and make a star, and hopefully in future episodes we get to see other people have the opportunity to grab that microphone and be that star, right? Because there's 12 people there. I think we saw 2, and honestly, I'm not ready to write the guy off. I'm not. I don't remember his name. I'm not ready to write him off because I can't imagine those were his jokes, right? So his timing didn't seem bad, right? So I'm not ready to write him off. Not writing her off either. It's just, yeah, I guess I am. Like, if you had to make the decision, you're in that room, you're like, Becca Scott's gone. We got 12 people here. One of them we're going to have to saddle the horse. You're the main co-star of the show. Who do we think's the funniest, got the best personality? Like I guess it's not about the best personality because once again, there were so many jokes that were attempted, right? So it's not about personality here. It's about joke. It's about funny, right? In theory, if this is, but it's not necessarily supposed to be funny, right? Maybe I'm looking at it from too much of a humorous perspective. I don't know. I just want it to be over. And luckily, all I have to do for it to be over is click that button right there.